Saturday, August 23rd, 2008. This is the Meadow Grooms Oral History Project. We're at the Meadow, and our interview subject now is Charlie Ross, and the interviewer is Lou Ann Layden. Charlie, thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
First, if you will state your name and then when and where you were born.
Charlie Wilbur Ross, born October the 31st, 1934, in Panola, Virginia.
Where is Panola?
Up there, the name now is Ruther Glen. They changed to Ruther Glen.
Ruther
now.
Glen.
But it used to be Panola.
Okay. How far is that from here, from the Meadow?
Well, I reckon about a mile.
All right, not far.
Not too far, no.
Okay.
Right around in the area up there.
Okay. Can you tell us something about your family? Did you grow up on a farm or?
No, I just grew up, family house.
Okay. Okay. Where did you go to school?
Union High in Bowling Green.
Bowling Green?
Yeah.
Okay.
The name of it now is Caroline High.
Okay.
But it used to be Union High.
All right. What was your first job?
I've been on so many of them.
When you finished school?
I think the first job I used to cut excelsior wood, pulpwood.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was that around here?
Yeah, right around in this area.
Okay.
Then I used to work at T. Frank Flippers over here in Dawswell.
Okay. What kind of company was that?
The lumber company over there,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. What else did you do before you came to the Meadow?
I used to work at Export Tobacco Company in Richmond.
Okay. Remember any other
I
jobs?
tried to think of another one. I've been on so many of them. Let's see. I used to work at the tire yard over in Dawswell. You had a tire yard over in Dawswell. I used to work over there too.
All right.
And I think then I came to the Meadow.
Then you came to the Meadow. Do you remember about what year that might have been?
No, I don't have no idea.
Like in the 40s or 50s?
Might have been.
Okay. Okay. Who hired you at the Meadow? Did you already have family working there?
No, I didn't. Mr. Gentry, Howard Gentry.
He hired you. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your first job at the Meadow?
Oh, I started working on the farm.
On the farm?
On the farm.
Not with the horses?
Not with the horses.
What did you do on the farm?
Help cut bushes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then they decided they want to put me in the horse category.
All right.
I started working up at the main house where the yearling and stuff was at. And then they decided to send me to the racetrack, to the racetrack.
Now that was across the road,
Across the road,
Route
yeah.
30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when you worked with the yearlings, tell us what you did. Talk a little bit about what you did with
Just had the first thing you do, turn them out in the morning, and then you clean the stalls and stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you groom the horses?
You had to brush them off.
You did that too. Did you put the halters on them? Did you halter break the yearlings?
No,
at all,
I didn't ever do that. The other boys did that.
They did that.
They already did that.
Okay. Did anybody train you when you started working with the yearlings?
Show me what to do?
Mm-hmm.
No.
They just told you to
Mm-hmm.
start working with them.
Put the shank on them and take them out and turn them out.
And turn them out.
And go back in the afternoon and get them in.
And get them in. Okay. When you went then across the road to the racetrack, what did you do with the horses over there?
Well, the same thing like up on here. No more. And you had to brush. Of course, they used to brush the yearling off up there too.
Okay.
The weanlings off too.
Okay.
But then the yearling, you brush them off every morning, and clean out the stalls and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Can you give us an idea of what a typical day for you would be like? What time would you get to work? What did you do at different times of the day? When did you take a lunch break? When did you go home? Just walk us through what your day would have been like.
Well, we used to get to work at, I think it was 7 o'clock or 7:30. And first thing you do, you go open up the door and go in there and check your horse. And then you brush them, get them clean up,
Okay.
and brush them off, pick out the feet. Then you clean your stalls out, and then you get them ready for to go to the racetrack. You put your bridle on first, and then you put your saddle pad on. And then you put another pad on top of that, and put your saddle on. Throw your girth over and pull it around and hook it on him, and he'll be ready to go then.
He was tacked up and ready.
Tacked
to
up
go.
and take him outside and throw the exercise boy up on him.
Throw the exercise boy up on him.
Mhm.
But y'all wouldn't have ridden. You
No,
didn't
no,
ride him.
no, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Guy who I named Myrtle Beale used to ride Secretariat.
Do you remember what that was like when he first started riding Secretariat?
Oh, when they put him on,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know, when you first you lay across him, and after you put the saddle on, you lay across him in the stall and turn him around a few times.
Just to get him used to
Get
that
him used
weight.
to get him used to the weight. Mm-hmm.
So he did that.
Yeah.
Did you lead him? Were you?
I led him
you were the one
ran in
leading?
the stall. Yeah.
So when Secretariat first had a rider on his back, you
I had over by.
had him.
Yeah.
You were leading him around.
That's man.
And then when he actually sat up on him in the saddle.
We took him out. Yeah. He set up on the saddle in the stall, and I turned him around in the stall with him up on there till he get used to that.
Okay.
Then the next move, we'll take him out in the big round shed where we had, and that's where we'll walk him around in there till he get used to that.
Okay. Did he act up any when
He
First
didn't act
head-
up none at all. You know,
Didn't-
like most horses be bucking and stuff, but he didn't never.
it didn't bother him
Mm-mm.
having the saddle on his back or
Real
than a human?
quiet, real quiet horse.
So he was different in that way.
Mm-hmm. He was different from the rest of them.
By not reacting so much.
Right.
That's
No, he
exactly
didn't do
the
no whole
opposite.
lot of reacting or nothing at all.
That's exactly the opposite of what you would have thought.
Mm.
But that has to feel pretty historic. I mean, that you were the one leading him around and helping him get
Yeah.
saddle broke,
I
basically.
feel good about it.
Yeah.
I enjoy working with him.
Yeah. Had you worked with horses before?
Not before I went down there. Started working at the Meadow.
And again, you did not get any special training at
No.
the Meadow when you first started working with the horses. You just
No,
kind of learned on the job.
I just see what the rest of them was doing, you know, where I was already there working.
Okay. If we can talk a little bit about just some of the basic things on your job, and then we'll go back to the horses. Did you feel like your pay was enough for your family needs, or did you have to work off of the farm?
I was satisfied with my pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you told about some of the other jobs that were available in the Doswell area
Yeah,
at
where I
that
worked
time.
at, yeah.
So working at the Meadow compared okay to those types of jobs?
I was satisfied.
Okay. And then things like benefits on the job, like getting holidays or vacation. I know there were racing bonuses,
Yeah,
things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about that a little
We
bit.
had insurance and all.
Okay.
And every time you win a big stake race, they give you 2 weeks pay.
That had to be
Yeah.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard about things like Mr. Chinnery sending his tractor up there in the neighborhood with help people bush hog their property,
Mhm.
or when it snowed.
Snow,
and you
they
would
had
help-
the tractor to open up the road
Right.
when the state people didn't come along.
Okay, so when the state bulldozers or
You know, yeah.
Snow plows didn't
Before they
come.
came around, he was
Uh-huh.
sending the tractors up there to open the road up
Mr. Chinnery
so we
did
could
that.
get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you get to work? I understand there was a truck that
They-
picked up
they
some
had,
workers, or
yeah.
did you?
They had a truck come
Go
around and
yourself?
pick you up.
Okay,
The guy used to drive a named Clarence Ritson.
all right. And he would call. What time would he pick y'all up?
He pick us up around, but with 7, I think it used to be.
Did most of you all live in the same area?
Most of us live around in the neighborhood.
Okay, okay. And I was going to ask about Duval Town because I know
That's
some.
where I live at.
That's where
on
you.
Sadie Lane.
On Sadie Lane?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about the history of Duval Town?
No, I don't know too much about that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Just wondered about that. Well,
'Cause I just moved down there after I got married.
okay. Okay. And I'm to ask, how many children? Do you have children?
I had 3 daughters.
3 daughters?
All of them married.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go back to talking about the horses again. So you started out with working with the yearlings,
Right.
and then you went over to
To
the
the
racetrack.
racetrack, yeah.
Is that where you stayed? Was that
That's where I stayed the whole time.
the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you have a title, a job title? Were you or was it basically the groom or the?
Well, sometime I used to cut grass in the afternoon, you know,
Okay.
after I finished with the horses and stuff in the morning.
Okay. So you did
Had
other
little
things.
chores to do in the
Other
afternoon
chores.
too.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk some more about Secretariat, and then I want to hear also about Reba Ridge and Hill Prince and some of the others. But do you remember when Secretariat was born in 1970? Do you remember a sense of anticipation about him or anything like that? Or
What did they say? It was born in March, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I was born in March. I think I can remember them hearing them say that.
Yeah.
In the little barn across the road
Right.
there.
Right. Do you remember anything about him as a colt? Did he stand out?
No.
Did people think
Oh, no.
he was going to be special? Or I remember hearing.
No, I ain't hearing nobody say. I mean,
No.
you know.
Okay. But then again, when he came over to the training center, that's when you started working?
I started working with
With
him
them.
then. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Any other memories about him over at the training center besides when he was first being ridden by Meredith? How about when he would go around on the track? Do you remember watching him run and thinking anything? Could you tell then maybe he was going to have some speed or?
Well, he used to be running pretty good when
Mhm.
you go around.
Right. You have any other impressions of him out on watching? That had to be exciting as you think back after what he became as a Triple Crown winner. To think, I stood there and watched him learn how to run. So, any other impressions of him like that?
No, not that I know of no
Yeah.
more, you know,
Okay.
let's just say.
How about, I know we've heard a couple of stories. I think I heard one story about when he was a colt of he and his dam Something Royal didn't come up at feeding time, and she was down there by the river or the creek, and he was swimming in the creek, and Larry Tillman had to jump in and get him. Do you
That's what I
remember?
hear him say.
Do you remember?
Yeah. See, I was down at the racetrack.
You were at the racetrack
At that time, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I remember hearing them say.
Do you remember any other stories about him like that, or any of the other horses?
No,
Any
that's
stories
all.
like that? Okay.
Been
What-
so long.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And
hasn't
age
it?
done caught up with me.
Yeah, it does with all of us. How about Reba Ridge? Did you?
Well, I remember
handle
him.
him?
That other guy had him. Of course, he passed. Raymond Goodall
Raymond
used to take
Goodall.
care of him. Yeah. Me and him on the weekend on Friday nights, me and him used to get in the argument about which one was the best horse.
Reba or Secretary?
Reba Ridge
Really?
and Secretariat.
Oh,
So it came to a showdown. I think it was in the Marbury Stake. I think it
that's right.
was
That's right.
Marbury Stake.
That's right.
My horse won. His horse finished second. So that took care of
That took
that took care of that.
that ended that
One no
argument.
more argument. Mm-mm.
That's
Yeah.
great. Oh. Do you remember much about, well, I talked briefly about Something Royal. Do you remember much about her?
I don't know too much for her.
Okay. How about some of the other champion horses like Hill Prince and First Landing and Sir Gaylord, Sakata?
All of them was good horses, yeah.
Remember? Mhm.
But I didn't have them. Other
You-
guys had them. Sakata and
Right.
Sir Gaylord. First Land, somebody else had them.
Okay. Do you remember what it was like? Well, you touched on that a little bit with the Marlboro Cup, but when they won a big race, would you all be paying attention to know?
We wanted to win. It's
Yeah.
like the Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont. We was right there. I didn't go to the Derby, but I went to the Preakness and Belmont.
When Secretariat won?
I was right there.
That had to be, what was that like?
Some kind of exciting.
Do you remember?
Didn't see but the one horse coming down through there.
For the Belmont.
All the
he
ones
was-
were way back there. 31 lengths he won by.
Did you ever think you'd see anything like that? Then or again, you think that could ever?
I don't think
you'll ever
nobody.
see
I
like
don't
that?
think nobody never been 31 lengths since that.
Mhm.
I look at a lot of races, but I don't
Yeah.
never see 31 lengths.
See anything like that? Right. What about some of the other folks that worked here? Dr. Olive Britt, the veterinarian.
Yeah.
Did you know?
I remember her. Yeah.
Mhm. Would you have been holding any of the horses that she might have-
Sometime I used to hold horses for her,
Okay.
and the blacksmith sometimes used to hold horses for him. I forget his name now.
Okay. Did Secretary get loose one time from the blacksmith? Do you
I
remember?
think I heard him say it.
I didn't know if you knew that.
I don't know. I don't think he was down at the racetrack. I think he might have
Okay.
been up on.
At the-
He was up at
the yearling?
yeah.
Okay, okay. I know you talked a little bit about, with Meredith Bales and, his father was Robert, right?
Robert Bales.
So you worked with him?
Yeah, he used to be out. He used to be the trainer down
The
there.
trainer?
Yeah.
Mhm. How about Casey Hayes that was the trainer?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
What do you remember about him, about Casey? Do you remember very much?
No, no more. He just, was training the
He
horses
was-
at the time. Now.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk a little bit about some of the events we've heard about at the Meadow. In 1969, the river flooded. It was the hurricane, and they had to bring the broodmares and the foals up from the cove because the levee broke. Do you remember?
Yeah, the dam broke.
Mhm.
The whole cove on number water. I remember that.
Did you have to help get the mares and foals up, or
No,
was that?
I still was
You
down
would have
at
been over at the training
I was at training
center, so-
yeah.
Okay, okay. Do you keep up with horse racing?
I look at
today?
it every day.
You do?
On
Okay.
channel 602, you get all the races from, they switch from one racetrack to the other.
Okay.
That's what I look at.
Okay. Well, what do you think every year before the Triple Crown, somebody says, is this the year? Is there going to be another Secretariat? Is there going to be another Triple Crown winner? And there hasn't been for a long time. What do you
30
think
years,
about that?
yeah.
30 years, right? Since 78, that's right.
All right.
What do you think about that? How things have changed, or why do you think there hasn't been
No, he just
Triple Crown winner,
Probably.
maybe?
probably just ain't good as what he was already. That's the only thing I can figure. I thought that Big Brown was gonna win it, but something not happened to him.
That's
But he
right.
did win. I was sad to hear.
Mhm.
But in the Belmont, something about his shoe or something
He didn't do too well.
didn't
did
do
he?
too well then. But he came back Saturday before last, I think it was, and he won the big race.
I remember hearing something about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more about your job. Did you have anything maybe that you liked the most, or anything that you liked the least about your job? And it sounds like you did a lot of different things.
Different
but
thing, yeah.
Anything that
Well, I just,
wasn't as much fun, or
well, everything seemed to have been all right with me.
okay.
Most time I used to cut grass in the afternoon. I used to let push grass mow.
Okay.
But I ride grass mow now.
All right. And did you have other family members that were working here? You're not
Well,
related.
Ben is my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So did you and Banny work together
Sometimes.
some here?
But most time he was up on the hill. He used
Oh.
to work up on the hill most of the time.
So-
Him and Howard Grigg and all of them used to be up on the hill.
Okay. What was Banny's job, since it
He
looks
used,
like
to
we're
take,
not,
he used to take care of the yearling and
to get
stuff.
to interview him?
Yeah.
He took care of the yearlings?
He goes up there, you know, with Greek and when the Secretariat was up there too.
Okay, so he worked with
He used to hold
Secretariat.
them both blacksmith.
He did?
Mm.
Okay. How long did Banny work here? Do you remember?
Did he work here?
How long did
Oh,
Banny?
no, I don't know. But the same
About the
time,
same
all of us came, but
time that
about
you-
the same time, I
did?
think.
Okay. And did other people in the community look at people that were working at the Meadow? I mean, was it looked at as, well, that's a great place to work, and, or, you know, they have all
Yeah,
these.
you hear him say that.
So, okay.
Mm.
So,
They used to come around looking at the horses and stuff.
okay. When the Meadow was sold, I guess number one, how did that make you feel when it was sold, and ceased to be a horse farm?
I'd hate to see you go.
Yeah. What did you do after it was sold? Where did you go work?
I found another job somewhere. I don't remember right now,
Oh.
but I had to go to work.
Yeah.
They gave us a good cut though when they sold it.
They did,
They
like
gave us
severance pay?
7 pay. Yeah.
You did?
Mm.
Okay. I guess, how would you compare working at other places as compared to working at the Meadow? Would you have missed working at the Meadow or any other
Oh
place?
yeah, I miss working at the Meadow right now. I work at truck stop, but I said I miss
Okay.
the Meadow. Yeah.
Is that where you work now?
I work
Is-
at truck stop.
At
All
the truck-
American, yeah.
Okay.
That's where I am now.
Okay. One area I want to ask you a little bit about, back in the time that you all were working at the Meadow, those were the days of segregation. Did you have any problems because of race?
Everybody was the same. I got
Everybody?
along with everybody.
So everybody, the workers,
Everybody.
black and
was
white, pretty
Black
much
and
were
white, all right.
treated the same. Did you travel with the horses on the road? Because we've heard of some stories where, like, the grooms had to stay in the vans with the horses.
Well,
They
yeah,
couldn't go in the-
I rode
Did you?
I rode in the back a lot of times
You did. Can you talk a
To-
little bit
to-
more about
to New York.
to New York? Any other tracks or?
Somewhere else I used to go with them too. I know I went to New York, and I think Maryland went a couple of times.
Right. But you wouldn't be able to go into the restaurant or stay in a hotel,
No,
pretty much.
traveling to New York, I had to stay in the van with the horses while the driver go in there eating, and he bring me something back.
Bring something back.
Of course, I had to stay with the horses. you
Right, right. So did you sleep in the van with the
know. No,
horses?
I didn't never go to sleep.
You never went
See,
to
we were
sleep?
traveling in the daytime anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't go to sleep. I had to keep my eyes on the horses.
Did they travel okay, or
They rode good.
they did?
Yeah.
So, I remember some of the grooms telling us about the horses coming back and on the train and getting off at the depot at
Over in
Doswell.
Doswell.
Did you do that? They said they led them down Route 30.
Over to Dollar.
Doswell
I,
led them
I
home.
think I led one over there too when they get ready. I think go to Florida. I think it was.
Oh, really?
I think that's where they was going.
Okay.
Had to
Hey.
walk them over to Dollar.
Right. So you had to walk them from here,
From the Meadow over to Dollar.
which is, what, about 3 or 4 miles?
About 3 miles probably.
It was a dirt road then, right?
You know what? Let's see. Can't remember.
Yeah, okay. But still, that's a long way.
That's a
to
long way, yeah.
walk a horse, and I guess if a car came by or a truck,
Get a little jumpy.
did any of them ever get away from y'all?
No,
or
they didn't have to get away.
Wow. Okay. What about, did you say you have children?
Yeah.
What, have you told them about what you did?
They know what I did.
What do they think about that? Hey, my dad worked with Secretariat. You know, how do they feel?
It
about-
felt all right.
You told them a lot of your stories.
Oh, yeah.
any of them have any interest in horses or?
They look at it on television sometimes.
Okay.
That's,
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about, just in general, maybe give us an idea of what life was like in Doswell at the time you were working at the Meadow? Did you go into Ashland very
I
much?
just go
or
into Ashland,
go
come
into
to
Richmond?
grocery store, go to Richmond, places like that
Okay,
on the weekend.
right,
To the grocery store,
okay,
go downtown, maybe buy some clothes.
okay. All right. I guess, let's see, with, thinking, well, anything else about, like, life in Doswell? I mean, just what else it was like back in those days, like, where did you go get groceries, and, you know, what did people do, for fun,
Well,
anything like that?
they used to have a place down number 1 called Mary's Inn there where you used to go and dance on Saturday night.
Oh, really? Okay.
Then they had
dances.
another club down there by the name of Jamaica
Okay.
Club on number 1 too.
And that was a dance club?
That was a dance club too.
Okay. So did you work Monday through Friday and have the weekends off, or were y'all
Every other weekend.
every other weekend?
Yeah.
Because I would imagine with horses, they don't take days
Mm-mm.
off. So,
Sometimes when I used to work on the weekend, I get a half a day off on Fridays.
okay. Would you have been called in for anything? Like if, I don't know, a horse got hurt or some new horses were coming in, would maybe you be off and they would call you to come work or anything like
No,
that?
you never have to do that. I don't think.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I guess I want to go back a minute to just basically kind of your any other favorite memories of the Meadow, the barbecues, the Camptown races. There were Christmas parties. Anything like that you can talk about a little bit more.
You know, the barbecues used to be real nice, and the Camptown races,
Okay.
we enjoyed that. They used to
did.
have it down at the racetrack one time when they first started off.
Okay. How many people would come
To the Camptown race,
Camptown.
oh, they have big crowd.
from all over? I
All
guess.
over, yeah.
Okay, okay. Would some of the Meadow horses race right there?
We used
for
to have
the-
something else in the Camptown races. too.
Okay,
Then they moved to another place over there off number 1. I forget that farm
Mhm.
over there. They used to race over there for a while too, but they stopped racing over there.
right, right. Okay. The barbecues, were the barbecues like something the Chinnerys had just for friends and family, or
I think
was that a whole big?
I think it was for the friends and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But you said they also had parties for the workers too, like
Yeah.
at Christmas,
Mhm.
that type of thing?
And then when you get your Christmas bonus.
Okay. And what was the Christmas bonus?
A 2-week fee.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay,
Mm.
very good. Well, you think
No, it used to be a month pay for Christmas.
a month's
pay
pay
for
for
Christmas.
Christmas? Okay. All right, very good.
Can I throw one in?
Have at it.
I'm still remembering that luncheon over there.
Yeah.
When you said, everybody was talking about how independent Secretariat was. I think he maybe intimidated some of them. He said, never gave me any problem. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you and Secretariat, y'all did have kind of a little special.
we were special.
Now, what caused, what happened? How come?
Hmm?
How come? What
Well,
made-
he just was a nice horse and didn't give me no problem. That's why I did think a lot of him.
Well, so you must have handled him well.
Well, I did the best I could.
Yeah. Did you treat him differently from any other horse?
No, I handled him just like the rest done.
He must have liked you.
They must have did. He never give me no problem. Mm.
Yeah, because we've heard other people say he could be pretty feisty,
Oh yeah.
you know, pretty spirited and energetic.
He
but-
might have been sometime, but I
Sometime.
just
But
can't
when
remember.
you
I mean,
had
I
him-
ain't had no big problem with him.
Right. Right. Were there any horses you had any problem with, or you just?
Well, some of them when you know when you first put the saddle on, where I had with Buck in the stall and stuff. I remember that one horse where I put the saddle on and was turning him around in the stall. After the boy put the saddle on, he came out there and closed the bottom door. I thought I wasn't gonna make it out of that stall. Because he was in there bucking, and he finally stopped.
Well, see, I didn't know that they used to do that in the stall, because I thought you led the horse out in like a ring.
Yeah,
or
when the first started, we used to do it in the stall. But after had that big shed, that we took them in the shed and tag them, then
and
put
did them in the
saddle on.
shed.
Yeah.
So you didn't do it
So
in the stall.
they don't buck as much, you know, 'cause you turn them right around. That girth panting them, you know, in the stall like that.
Right.
But in the ring, you just put the saddle on and just walk on off.
And walk them.
Some of them they buck afterward, but very seldom.
So they would have been how old? Like a year or a little over?
But when you put the saddle on,
or closer to 2 years
they're
old.
yearling when you first put the saddle
First
on.
put the saddle on them. Okay.
How long would you and Secretariat have been close? How long would you?
When he came down as a yearling until he left as a 2-year-old.
So 2 years?
So a year you really.
Year and a half?
Me and him had it going for 2 years.
So yeah, so you were responsible for him.
I guess so. They told me that I was the man.
Did you kind of keep up with him after he left?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
How'd you do that?
Every time he run, I try to see him run or try to hear what he did one or the other.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't make it to the Kentucky Derby, but I made it to the other 2 races.
To the other
We
ones.
ran the excursion bus up to Pimlico and to New York.
Right. Right.
Where were you when he finally passed away? Do you remember?
Doing Secretariat,
Mhm.
Yeah, when was that? 1980?
That was 89.
89.
89. Oh, I was at home when I heard about it.
So you knew it.
Yeah, I knew about it. The one in Phyllis died all day too. General Wrist.
I read about that.
See the one where I won the Kentucky Derby
She
one
was
time?
one of the few fillies that ever won the Kentucky
Mhm.
Derby, and she was what, like 30
31.
years old, something like that. Yeah. Well, you really stay on top of
I
all
said in
the
the 3.
racing. Mhm.
I'm 73 years
You
old.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think racing has changed very much from the days
Or
when you were
Secretariat.
involved in
Oh.
it, and Mr. Chinnery?
Oh yeah?
I don't know if you met him or not.
No, I don't think I did.
Mike Rich, he's a screenwriter for the Disney movie about
Oh, yeah?
Secretariat.
Oh yeah?
And he came here, and Penny gave him a personal tour of the Meadow. And we've been trying to convince Disney to film here. We don't know if
Yeah.
they are.
Mhm.
But the screenwriter was certainly impressed with the Meadow and all the folks that he met.
Yeah.
So-
He heard you say, because I remember him commenting, I heard you say, Secretary never gave me any money.
That's right.
You can just keep talking.
Okay.
I just started rolling right away.
All right. So, like we were saying, they're getting ready to make a movie, you know, about
Yeah, I
Secretariat
heard.
in Disney. And so, you think you'll definitely keep up with that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I keep in touch.
Yeah. Very good.
What do you think they ought to say in the movie about the Meadow? What would you like for the movie to reflect on the Meadow?
I don't got no idea. Just said that's the main.
That's good.
So you should be in the movie.
I ought to be in there.
I think you and the other groom should be in the movie. Absolutely.
That's good.
So, well, as we were saying, you've really been a part of history, and it must make you feel really proud knowing that the time you spent with Secretariat helped prepare him to go on
Right.
into the world.
Right.
So that's quite a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's what everybody tell me.
Yep.
very special time. So
Mhm.
we really appreciate you sharing these memories with us today.
Okay, I'm glad I could get down here, but I've been busy all the morning. I've been on the road all the morning.
Well, we appreciate you making time for us.
Okay,
You've given
yeah,
us some
thank you.
wonderful stories. So
That's great.
Thank you very much.